Hey, David here with Guide Recommended. Going to get back to some cool basics. I had somebody ask me how to attach, what knot do I use to attach backing to a fly reel? Backing to a fly reel. I like to use what's called a double surgeon's loop. You'll hear people talk about an arbor knot. I think it's a lot more complicated than it needs to be. A little bit tougher to cut that knot off as well. Arbor knot, nice and simple, kind of one of the three essential knots I think everybody should be able to tie is a double surgeon's knot or a double surgeon's loop. So pull off about 2 feet of line, double that over. So I got a loop doubled over, right? Pull it around through once, granny knot, overhand knot once, pull it through again, so double, that's what makes the double surgeons. Tighten it up. Now I have a big loop. We will cut off our tag. I'll do a close-up of this as well so you can see it. Right. All right, big loop, got it on there. Good, sturdy, strong knot. Take my spool off, lay that down in front of me, right? Loop over, just like that. Now I've got like a slip knot, right? We'll tighten down on whatever it is I'm gonna do. So I take that, lay it over my spool, make sure it slips down, right? Put that on. Critical to remember at this point. Line goes into the bottom of a reel. So I cast right-handed, reel with my left. Cast with my right, reel with my, so the line wants to come in off onto the bottom of the reel. So from there I will reel it on. Some people will ask, how much line should you put on? Really depends on the fish. This is a little kind of size 4 reel, so I would recommend, don't have to go crazy. We're talking about maybe a medium size trout, smallmouth bass, smaller size. If you put 50 yards, that's a lot. For me, I'm going to put it just like a little solid base on the base of this reel. It might only end up being about 30 yards. Should be good. You think about 30 yards, that is, 90 feet, right? Thereabouts. Fly line is going to be pushing upwards to another 100 feet, 85 to 100 feet. So you're just shy of 200 feet, 180 feet. That's a good chunk of line. So that's how much I will put on. I will reel it on, just kind of cycling my fingers back and forth, back and forth. So again, maybe 25, 30 yards for a smaller reel like this. You can get some big fish, steelhead, salmon. You're going to want to have 100 yards. Big carp, 100 yards of backing. Bigger reel, bigger setup than this. What's a good backing? Smaller reel, small. Just go with a simple Dacron. You don't have to go too crazy with an expensive backing. $3-4 bucks. You should be able to find something fine for whatever you're going to use. A Dacron backing. They do have gel spun backing. Very thin, very strong, very expensive. I would recommend that. If you have to get into salt water, look for something in the 30 to 40 to even 50 pound range. It's a very fine gel spun backing. It does cost a little bit of money. So that's how I put line backing onto a reel. From there, we're going to attach in another episode our fly line. Onto our fly line, we will put a leader. Onto our leader, we will put some tippet. Onto our tippet, we'll put some flies. So that's what I got coming. Hey, we're going to do that close up, and I'm going to show you a little snippet from my class, how to number 2 fly fish. So if you go to howtoflyfish.com, I'll have it in the notes below. You'll see email sign up, a bunch of good stuff I send out. over a course of a span of time. Subscribe, hit that bell. Thanks.
So hey, David here. We're gonna do some quick little things. I took this out of my quick start guide. So some definitions and stuff in there, but this is just like a little clip of what's in the class, some favorite flies. All right, so we're gonna talk about attaching the backing to the reel. So you know, it's first step in this rigging up of a fly rod. So backing the reel, and then in later video we're going to attach the backing to our fly line, and then fly line to our leader, and then our leader to tippet. You'll see it here, and then we'll talk about attaching the fly. So next up is doing some close-ups of that actual knot and how I like attaching that reel or the backing to the reel. Thanks.
All right, so close-up. So I got my backing, I got my reel. How do we do this? Again, double surgeon's loop. Pull off 2 feet. Wrap it around once. Again, I got just a big loop I got through there once. Twice. Double surgeons, right? Pull it, tighten it up, get a nice knot, right? There is my loop. Here is my tag line. Let's trim that off. This is a good time to trim it. One video I had, I actually cut my loop in that. So take my spool off my reel. This version of the spool has got a little lever here. You flip it, pull it off. All right, with my loop, right? Pull that over, through. So now I got like a slip knot, right? So it will tighten up as I reel down. So I got that loop is kind of going on the downside. Lay it over my reel, right? And assemble the spool onto the body. Again, we'll look at that there. So the line always goes onto the bottom of the reel. So I got that coming on to the bottom, and then put it on. I put about 20, 30 yards on. I will reel it on, put a nice back and forth motion on my fingers, get a nice base, put on there. So again, that is putting line backing on my fly reel. And then next will be our fly line. We'll be doing some fun stuff with a nail nut tool. Thanks.